all, this is May and welcome back to my channel for a brand new speed build. So today I am making a modern art gallery in Willow Creek as part of the save file I'm currently working on. And as always, I do have a playlist up on my channel with all the builds I've done so far. So if you haven't checked it out, make sure to do so after this video. So I'm currently working on this commercial strip in Willow Creek, which is going to have a nice mix of different architecture styles. Some a bit more industrial, worn down, and some more well kept. However, the art gallery I'm doing today is the only modern style building along this street, which I feel like could be realistic in a way that the buildings are just made in different eras. So some lots might have been bulldozed and new shops and community areas have been built as time has passed. And I do have to say I have struggled with this neighborhood for quite a while now, but with the Businesses and Hobbies pack, I have finally been inspired and been able to make something I'm somewhat satisfied with that's going to be included in the save file. At first, the shape of this build came together pretty quickly, and then I started to get a bit indecisive about what windows to use and textures like walls and where to have those windows along with the front door. I think that's what I spent a lot of time going back and forth about, but I decided to cut out a lot of unnecessary footage of me doing that, so hopefully that's okay. Otherwise, this video would have been a lot longer actually. So just to save you all for that, I didn't include everything. And this is the biggest lot on this street, by the way. It is a 40 by 30 lot, and thus I do have more space to work with. And I didn't want to over clutter the exterior, like what's going on the outside here. So we're going to end up with some cherry blossom trees on the right hand side here with some flags. And on the left side, I thought it would be fun to add some chess tables, like maybe there are teams practicing for tournaments or they're actually holding competitions and similar here. Just like very simple. And this isn't just going to be an art gallery, by the way. There are going to be a few different sections. So on the first floor, there's going to be sort of like a common area where you can sell paintings and you can have stands for different causes. There is going to be a cafe area and a library study area. I also included a restroom using the new toilet stalls from the Businesses and Hobbies pack. The name for that pack really is a mouthful. Like every time I have to say it, it's a lot. But yeah, anyway, on the second floor here, that's where you will find all of the exhibited art on the walls and some pottery on these like stands around in this very open, airy space, which I feel like is quite common in art galleries. So I'm mixing and matching different art pieces from different packs, and you will also be able to teach pottery and art like painting on the second floor in a sectioned off room. And I did also include a small break room for the employees working here, which is quite nice. They definitely need a separate peaceful space as well. So yeah, a few different areas in this build here, and we're going to have the new ticket kiosk just by the entry door, so all customers will pay either a one-time fee when entering or they will pay an hourly fee. Since this is going to be a small business venue lot, I wanted the owner to be Alice Spencer Kim, who is one of the townies coming with base game and Willow Creek, and that is the world we're in today. I haven't shared their new home yet, but it should hopefully be right around the corner by the time this speed build goes up. So I have made a new home for Alice's family, and I have given all the household members makeovers and new storylines and careers, and I actually think majority of the family members originally are unemployed, and I felt like that didn't really make sense since they do have a pretty big and modern looking home. So instead I've made Alice into an artist. She's a bit of a celebrity because of her status as an artist as well. I thought that would be fun to include, and she's going to be doing paintings and pottery and selling them through the art gallery here, or just showing them off really. So she has her thing going on here, but she's still in the painter career at the moment of me doing this voiceover. It might be too much to handle all of the things like her career and the art gallery, but honestly I would be open to all kinds of feedback on that and the save file as a whole once the first version of the save file is out. But who knows, maybe I'll change my mind about her being in the career as well by the time the save file is out. I can also show you the makeover of Alice here on the screen. I would say she was more colorful before, so I have muted her clothes a bit, but I've given her a tattoo, so adding a bit of edge to her, which I think is pretty cool. And Alice's husband, Eric Lewis, is now in the doctor career, so I would say the family is pretty well off now, actually. Not to mention that Eric's mom and Alice's dad both are retired from their respective careers within music, and I think it was gardening that I chose for Alice's dad. So they've got more stuff going on. They've got their backgrounds and lore that will tell you more about why the family has this bigger house and all of the money as well. Initially, Alice and Eric are both young adults, but I felt it made more sense for them to be adults, like thinking about how far they are in their respective careers and all. But I decided to leave their daughter Olivia as a kid. And yeah, I'm very excited to show off their family home sometime in the near future as well. So I hope you're looking forward to that. And it's been a while since I finished their house actually, but I was just waiting for the new pack to come out so that I could include the pottery items in Alice's artist studio at the back of the house as well. I'm currently working on the inside of the art gallery now. One item that I rarely get to use in any kind of build really is the big dinosaur skull or fossil that's on display from the Get Famous pack. I feel like Get Famous has such a weird combination of build and buy objects. It was either like overly fancy with golden accents or bold patterns and colors, like the golden toilet or there's this like expensive bed as well that come in so many wild colors. Or the pack also have more of these like retro items that I don't really use that much either. So I feel like Get Famous really isn't one of my favorite packs when it comes to building, but I do however quite like Del Sol Valley. I just wish it was a bigger world with perhaps waterfront lots. And I do quite enjoy the fame system and the acting career. But yeah, that fossil is in that pack and I thought it would finally come in handy for today's build. So I placed it in the common area, I've decided to call it, with these benches around it. So if you need to rest your legs or something, you can do it there. I added one of those career day stands from the high school years pack. I'm not entirely sure if it is a debug item at the top of my head, but yeah, still I put one of those there, maybe some kind of brand or organization or handing out pamphlets for some sort of special occasion. I would even imagine local schools could have school class trips to this art gallery. Maybe there's like an employee touring them through the gallery and teaching them art history. At least when I was in high school, my class actually did that. We went to this art gallery in Oslo and we had a tour and everything. So I would say it is possible and realistic. It wasn't my most favorite class trip to be honest, but I think that's more about my preference. I feel like I get a bit restless just sitting and listening to people. At least in regular class, I could keep my hands busy by taking notes and I was able to concentrate better for some reason. Otherwise, I feel like it would be so easy for my mind to just fade out and I would be in my own world. But yeah, that brings me over to the little library study area in today's build. I'm using lots of the new bookshelves. I love these sleek, modern looking ones that have a few different swatches. I line them up against the walls here and some in the middle of the room, and I kind of use those as dividers. And then I just put desks up against those bookshelves, and I have computers on top of those desks as well. I also use the brand new whiteboard where you can hold lectures and teach skills. So it has a bit of a classroom setup, I would say, or maybe even a meeting room setup too. And I just love the pop of soft yellow on the walls here. I am quite satisfied with the cafe. For the flooring, I combined two of the Businesses and Hobbies flooring. So one is kind of just a bare concrete, meanwhile the other has this pretty pattern on it, and they both look kind of worn. So I did every other tile with those floorings to create a more interesting looking pattern for the floor. I'm using a lot of the new expansion pack items in this build, I gotta say. The wood paneling behind the coffee bar is new. The coffee bar itself is new. There's these like long counters and the sink. There are the string lights on the walls, the narrow divider with the plants in it, the tables, chairs, just like a lot of new stuff I have managed to put into this build, and I can't help it because I really, really like the furniture coming with the Businesses and Hobbies pack. The style is right up my alley, like very minimalistic, modern, Scandinavian inspired, and it has some like retro influences as well. So I tried to create a few different areas for sitting in the cafe, and I also added some tables outside. So there is a bigger door in the cafe as well. So 2 entry doors in total for this art gallery. The vending machine in the cafe is from high school years, I do believe. I find it so cute with its like citrus pattern, and I use some of the high school years posters as well, like the boba tea ones. And an appliance that we got with the new pack is the candy maker. So I have added that behind the counter, and you can make and sell candy if you would like. So there is this big display counter by the coffee bar where you can place candy and other types of food if you would like to sell those. The second floor is a coming together. For the actual art gallery part, I decided to divide the rooms a bit with a few walls, but still keep the airy open flow of it all. The light I'm using above the paintings is actually from Base Game, and if I'm not mistaken, it is an unlockable career item that comes with the painter career, I think. It's at least the perfect light for a gallery. And we got lots of windows in here to let that natural sunlight in. But come to think of it, you wouldn't really have a lot of windows in an actual art gallery, would you? Because I feel like the sunlight would wear out the paint, if that makes sense. But yeah, at least in The Sims, it wouldn't really matter, but it was just like a random thought I just had. And quite a lot of the pictures I'm using here are from the City Living pack, actually, because we got an arts critic career, or that's at least why I think we got some more paintings in that pack. And then just like a mix of other packs, really. I think I mentioned that earlier on in the video as well, when I was just talking generally about the inside of the build and what you would find in it. But yeah, just like very simple. I put in some more of these benches into different places, and I couldn't stop myself from using the wall plant either. That's also from Businesses and Hobbies. I've got a couple more videos that I'm currently working on that are coming up in the next few weeks, so I'm trying to finish up as many builds as possible and editing them into speed builds at the moment. And that's why my videos are scheduled further apart right now, so that I don't stress too much about the editing and all, because it can be quite a lot at times. So some other builds I'm currently working on is the Spencer Kim Lewis family home, as mentioned earlier. I'm also working on a florist, cafe, and apartment all in one lot build that's going to be on this commercial strip as well. And if this one isn't already up by this time, then I'm also soon done with a wedding venue lot in Oasis Springs. So I'm very excited about all these builds, and if anything changes, then I might start scheduling them closer again, so that you'll get 2 videos per week like I did for a while prior to this. So I just thought I would let you know. So I just thought I would give you a little update on what I'm currently doing behind the scenes, and that also brings me over to my Twitch streams. So I do stream a couple times every week over at twitch.tv/honeymaysims, where I mainly build in The Sims, like I work on my save file, I do gameplay, or as of recent, I've done some cozy co-working streams where I bring you behind the scenes of how I make my content, such as recording footage, editing speed builds and shorts and things like that. So if that's of any interest, make sure to check me out there as well. And lastly, I'm just putting together the pottery and painting classroom on the second floor here. We've got some very calming colors in here, like the light blue tiles on the walls. I made sure to add some of the leaning paintings and some of these empty canvases, because you would for sure need lots of those. And you know, just the basic pottery items. I can for sure imagine Alice giving lessons up here, and I hope you will all enjoy this build too. I thought it was fun to add several different things here, like the cafe, library, and so on. So there will be less loading screens between different lots because now you have more to do on one lot. And other than that, I'm just finishing up the build here and we'll soon head into the screenshots. So that's basically it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more content in the future. If you want to be notified of when I upload a video next, make sure to click the bell icon too. This build is playtested and up on my gallery. My ID is honeymaysims, or you can find me with the hashtag honeymaysims as well. You can also find the tray files in the description. So thank you all so much for hanging out with me today as we made this modern art gallery, and I can't wait to talk to you all in the next video. Until then, take care. Bye!